call the guinea pigs, would you?
Listen, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you do. You've been the same ever since we got here, staring at like I don't know what.
It's rubbish, yeah? This whole thing is just messing with your head.
Alex says it's pill time. Have you seen Amy?
Amy,
I don't like what they're doing to me.
what are they doing to you?
Come for my fix, Doctor.
There you go, Shauna.
What are you doing in there?
Oh, hello, Adam. I'm looking for Amy. Time for the happy pills.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I suppose so. I want to go and buy some paint. Yeah.
Could everybody make sure that they take their pills before they eat?
Okay, there's plenty for everyone. Jake?
What have you got for me?
Pizza.
Oh.
Hi. I ordered a takeaway, Hathaway.
Pilau rice, lamb pasanda, chicken vindaloo. Don't spare the spices.
Perfect.
Here we go. I've given you a free cucumber raita.
Free writer, excellent. Thank you. Keep change.
So this man wakes up in a terrible state, and he calls a psychiatrist and says, I need to come and see you right away. When he gets to the psychiatrist's office, he said, I had the most terrible dream. I dreamt that I raped my mother, I killed my wife, and seduced my daughter. And I called you the second I woke up, and then I had a piece of toast and some coffee, and I came straight here. And the shrink says, what? Call that a breakfast? Yeah, well, I suppose it is a psychiatrist's joke, or a Jewish psychiatrist's joke.
Well, I thought it was funny, in a gentle sort of way. I'm going to bed.
Can we watch some TV?
What happened?
She was just lying there.
He was here first. I just got here.
Morning, sir.
What do we got?
One deceased damsel, name of Amy Katz, theology student, Wolsey College.
So what was she doing in the Dean's lodgings at Beaumont College 3 weeks before term begins?
I'll get to that. Amy's body was on the ground 2 floors below the room she was sleeping in. Cause of death is a blow to the skull, either by a rock hitting the head or the head hitting a rock.
Suicide?
Dr. Hobson is consulting the cadaver even now.
You're very chipper this morning, James.
I'm crying inside.
So what was she doing here?
College hired out the lodgings to a pharmaceutical company for a drug trial. Amy was a participant.
What kind of drug trial?
New sort of antidepressant. The trial's being supervised by Dr. Alex Ganser, psychiatry professor at the college. He lives in Summertown.
Where is he now?
Keeping the rest of the participants in their room, but the college already want to know when we're going to let them out.
Oh, well, let's let the blood dry first, eh? So who are the others?
2 students, well, 1 now. 2 kids from town working in a warehouse, an ex-soldier currently unemployed, and a dog walker, Son's Dogs.
Strange mix. Right, you talk to Dr. Ganser, I'll talk to Dr. Hobson. What?
No, nothing.
Laura? Theology student. Seems rather...
Quaint, yes.
Studying God in this city of atheists.
And that was her room, huh?
Yeah, but there are no signs of a struggle there. No defense wounds to the body, nothing under the fingernails. Just the blunt force trauma to the left parietal.
Still, a fall alone would have been enough to...
But don't ask me if it's suicide or murder, because I don't know.
Right. Time of death?
About 4 hours ago. Give or take an hour.
You okay, Laura?
Me? Here with a lovely young body cut off in its prime. Happy as Larry.
What do you know about this Dr. Ganser?
Nothing much. It's supposed to be brilliant.
I'm running a trial on a psychotropic drug called Ketorex. Plowden Pharmaceuticals provided the funds, I designed the trial and selected the participants.
Selected them how?
I asked for volunteers by putting up posters in the local hospitals and the university psychiatry department.
What's Ketorex supposed to do?
It's an antidepressant, the active ingredient in which is ketamine.
Ketamine's a Class C drug. It's illegal.
Unless it's prescribed by a doctor, one of which I am. The National Institute of Health ran a trial in the US that showed spectacular improvements in terminally depressed patients. I'm working with Plowden to see if that success can be replicated.
The people you selected for the trial, they're suffering from depression.
Some did, some didn't.
And how did this trial work? Apart from not working very well, obviously.
The trialists were paid to stay for a week while they took the drug. This is day 6. I was here 18 hours a day. My research assistant, Bethan Vickery, day and night. We monitored the participants' mental and physical well-being. They were also encouraged to record their thoughts, feelings, sensations direct to a roving camera and also in a confidential video booth.
Could the Ketorex have contributed to Amy's death?
Sorry, you're an odd policeman. I mean, you're odd for a policeman. Is this a second career, perhaps?
We're talking about you. Could the drug have contributed to her death?
I've no idea.
Then do you know of any reason why she might have wanted to kill herself?
Did she kill herself?
We don't know.
Well, then, my speculation won't help you.
Laura Hobson was very odd. She didn't know the dead girl, did she?
Gerard Manley Hopkins, The Unhappy Priest. 1 poem underlined. Oh, the mind has mountains, cliffs of fall. Hold them cheap, may who ne'er hung there.
Sounds like she was suicidal.
My speculation won't help you.
Very funny. Tell us about the ketamine.
As far as I know, it's either used as a horse anesthetic or a drug of choice at raves. And Given that Amy wasn't a horse.
She could have been high.
They all could.
Right, you get the statements. I'll find out about the film.
Oh, no, Amy would never kill herself. It must have been someone in this house. One of us.
Do you have any suspicions, Shauna?
I really don't want to speculate.
Yes, you do. Go on, knock yourself out.
In with the beard. Dane. Creepy.
Did you hear anything in the night?
Not till all the sirens. The cops, you lot.
What about Amy? Impressions?
No, I've been through some bad stuff. I got a way about me makes people nervous. But not Amy. When she talked to you, she looked you in the eye.
Did she seem happy in herself?
Do you mean, was she crazy? No.
No reason to kill herself, then, that you could discern?
Well, she was under quite a bit of pressure.
Work? Exams?
People. But I don't want to name names.
Sure you do.
That townie, Jack Collins, wouldn't leave her alone.
I was thirsty. I came down to get a drink, and that's when I saw Adam Douglas.
What was he doing?
He was outside, all freaked out. Then he knelt down, I went to the window, and that's when I saw Amy lying there. Adam was beside her, just touching her. I went outside, he started shouting at me that it was all my fault.
What did he mean by that?
I've no idea. It's crap.
Did you like Amy?
Didn't really pay her much attention, to be honest.
What woke you, Jack?
I said I was thirsty. I had a long night.
Doing what?
He was doing me all night until he came downstairs to get me a drink.
So, Jack's your boyfriend?
No, screw anything that moves. Of course he's my boyfriend.
I heard he liked Amy.
Well, that's rubbish.
Did you like her?
She's okay. I mean, she wanted you to like her, didn't she?
What happened?
She was just lying there.
He was here first. I just got here.
That's how I found her.
Why were you outside?
I was woken by them shouting. I grabbed the camera and ran. It was instinctive. Dr. Ganser told me to record everything. I'm sorry, it must seem ghoulish.
Suppose it is a psychiatrist's joke, or a Jewish psychiatrist's joke.
Well, I thought it was funny, in a gentle sort of way. I'm going to bed.
Can we watch some TV?
What about the footage from the video booth? Is that here too?
Yes, but obviously it's confidential. Only Dr. Ganser can access it.
How long have you been working for him?
4 years now, my postgrad studies.
Long time.
I know, I'm one of those sad people, the perpetual student. Oh, Alex.
Beth, we'll take it from here.
What's going on?
Inspector Lewis, I'm Julius Fisher. I run the psychiatry department here.
How can I help you?
The film footage, Inspector, it belongs to Plowden Pharmaceuticals.
Well, it doesn't matter who it belongs to. It could be relevant to our inquiry.
This is a clinical trial, and its participants have a right to privacy. Doctor-patient confidentiality. I think you've heard of that. Now, I can't allow you to use what could just be a tragic accident as an excuse to trample patients' rights. I think they found a murder weapon.
No accident. She was murdered. Right, this room is off limits. Anybody tries to come in, arrest them. Laura, you sure about this?
Here's your murder weapon.
It's clean.
Microscopic traces of blood and hair.
I suppose it's too much to hold for fingerprints.
Sorry, it was wiped clean and then hidden beneath other rocks. Your killer battered Amy to death and then did everything possible to conceal the act. See you back at the station.
Each day's film is filed by date, each booth recording by name of participant. It's pretty basic.
Is this computer the only place the footage is stored?
Yes, though Dr. Ganser can access it from his office or home.
Okay. I'll do a memory dump.
Have you seen it all, the footage?
What I shot, yes. Though it was rather in one eye, out the other, as it were. The video booth stuff, no. That's between doctor and patient, private, which is how I think it should stay.
Amy's dead. It can hardly hurt her anymore. On the film footage, Amy's last seen alive at 9 p.m. and her body was found at 5:27 the next morning.
What's the time of death?
3 or 4 hours before that. You find anything?
Adam and Jack were awake suspiciously early. Both had the hots for Amy, though Jack denies it. He says he was having sex with Karen all night, which she was more than happy to confirm. Dog walker Shauna thinks that ex-soldier Dane is creepy and therefore he did it, and Dane says he was asleep.
Basically, any of them could have done it. Even Bethan, the filmmaker. Easiest thing in the world to invite Amy out for a moonlight walk in the garden, bash her head in, then go back to bed and wait for the body to be discovered. And all for a drug. Take a pill and all your problems disappear.
You just hit a woman. And worse, you hit a police officer.
It was an accident, all right? That nutcase jumped me. He's out of control.
He's the one who got assaulted. You should lock him up.
It's nothing, all right? He's a wimp.
Get Ganser to take a look at him.
The rest of you, go back to your rooms.
For how long?
Push me. Stop pushing me.
I'm sick of this place.
We'll get to you as soon as we can. Please, just stay in your rooms. Yeah, Lewis. Right, I'm on my way. Amy's father come to identify the body.
There's a fight going on outside your room, but you don't come out.
I've seen enough fights, thanks. Adam and Jack, they're young. Let them fight.
So you know who it was? Do you know what it was about?
Amy, of course. I was younger. I might have fought over her too.
But not now.
No. Not now.
She's my daughter.
I'm sorry.
At least this time there's a body.
Sir?
Her brother Matthew died this year in Afghanistan. In his case, I was told that what was left of his body wasn't worth seeing.
Were he and Amy close?
Yes.
Did you know she was taking part in this drug trial?
No. No, but I encouraged her to do as much. Explore as many different things as she could, anything to take her mind off her brother. Her therapist gave the same advice.
She was in therapy?
Yes. With the Dr. Ganser. She was severely depressed by her brother's death. She needed professional help.
Why didn't Ganser tell us that he was Amy's therapist?
I'm sure he had a good reason.
Yeah, I can think of one. He shouldn't enter his own patient in an experimental drug trial.
Or maybe she entered herself. Or maybe he thought it would help her.
Oh, yeah, right. Stuff her with psychotropic drugs. That's a great help.
All right, Robbie, calm down.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just a bit upset.
About what?
Isn't it obvious?
Hope I'm not interrupting anything.
I see. Well, I'll leave you boys to it.
I just had a call from Amy's college. Her tutor, Caroline Eagleton, wants to speak to the officer in charge of the investigation, which would be you, sir.
Right.
This way.
Right.
I only got to know Amy last term, really. She was pretty independent before that. But, well, losing her brother rather sobered her up.
Do you know of any reason why someone might want to kill her?
Killed, not suicide.
Killed, murdered.
That's a relief, I suppose. For her family, at least.
A relief.
Students kill themselves. Late teens, early 20s, the first glimpse into the void. And then it's me with the fathers and mothers gaping like goldfish, saying, "But why? Why?" And all I can do is gape back and say, "I don't know. I don't know." Oh, bother.
Perhaps you didn't look.
Of course. Do come in.
Anyway, Dr. Eagleton, you called us. Do you have any information about Amy's death?
Unfortunately, I do.
And what is it?
Hold your horses, Sonny. I got it all written down.
Could you just tell us, please?
Well, 5 months ago, Amy reported that she was being harassed by one of the other students at Wolsey. The usual stuff. Following her from lectures, sending ardent, angry texts, email, other electronica.
Who's the student?
We spoke to him. He promised to desist. He did not. We were about to suspend him, but, well, his family's quite wealthy.
Don't tell me. Money talk.
No, no. They put pressure, certainly, but it was Amy. She talked. She said she could control him, that she wasn't scared, so we did nothing. Well, if it turns out to be him, may God forgive me, because I'll never forgive myself. Here, Proctor's report, statements, and the boy's name.
Adam Douglas.
You know him.
Yeah. And don't be too quick to forgive yourself. Dr. Ganser, I want to talk to you.
Well, I'm at your disposal.
I'll go get Adam Douglas.
This is my wife, Claire. Claire, this is the inspector I was telling you about.
Yes.
I'll see you later, darling. What's eating you, Inspector?
Why didn't you tell us Amy Katz was your patient?
Why should I? It wasn't relevant.
Well, any information about her state of mind's entirely relevant. You had that information by the bucketful.
He's gone, went out the window and across the garden.
Congratulations, Baines. Get back up there. Try not to lose anyone else.
Sir. Sorry, sir.
I'm onto it. I'll check train and bus stations.
Were you aware of Adam Douglas's threatening behavior towards Amy?
She told me, yes.
And yet you let him in on the trial? A week in a room right next door to
A
hers?
highly supervised week. You solve psychological problems by addressing them, not by running away from them.
She ended up dead. Was that part of the solution?
Is there anything else?
If Amy was severely depressed by her brother's death, why did you enter her into an experimental drug trial?
Sorry, who diagnosed this severe depression?
Her father.
Is he a psychologist, a psychiatrist?
He's her father.
And therefore a profoundly unreliable source of psychological data.
Now, I have teaching duties, patience. I live 10 minutes away. You have all my numbers. Can I go now? Pretty please. Can't be too careful.
Look, I'm telling you, Amy was dead when I found her. I never hurt her.
Then why did you try to run away?
Well, because I knew you'd dig up that stupid report on me and her, and I knew you'd completely misread it.
Trying to break into her room, harassing her with phone calls. How do you expect me to read it?
As proof of love. Which is what it was, which is what Amy knew it was.
Then why run? And where were you planning on going with 30 quid and an out-of-date passport? As far as master plans go, it's pretty stupid.
I'm the one studying classics at Oxford. And you're the one working in this toilet, so just watch who you're calling stupid.
We're both in the toilet, Adam, but I can leave.
He's a possible, you know, that temper. And he tried to run. Hang on to him.
Deserves the night in the cells anyway. being rude about your nice police station.
What about the others? The college is asking how much longer we can be camped on their grounds.
Why? The drug trial wasn't due to finish till tomorrow anyway.
A discreet drug trial wasn't getting in their way like we are.
No, it was just wasting time and money.
You're not a fan of these drugs, Lewis?
Not a fan of shrinks generally, Mum.
You should talk some sense into him, Hathaway.
Yes, of course, I agree with him, Mum.
You're supposed to drag Lewis out of the Dark Ages, not join him there. Anyway, how much longer do you need to hold these people at the college?
Get their addresses, tell them not to leave Oxford without informing us, and let them go.
Sure.
I'm off home. Good night.
What's the matter with him? Not our lovely Laura, I hope. Honestly, sometimes I just want to bang their heads together. Two grown-up single people who obviously like each other. Don't you think, Hathaway?
I try not to, Mum.
Oh, you're hopeless.
I'm gonna say how I feel, exactly how I feel. I feel like I'm up to here. I'm brimming over. I didn't know I could feel so full. You'll say it's the drugs. It's not. It's love. I'm alight with love. Light with love. I'm here on this height because of you. Your mind, your words. Oh, God. Why did I listen?
Oh, she's all over the place. Has to be those bloody pills. This is when?
2 nights before she died, last recording.
She's in love, but with who?
Well, who's watching the tapes?
Ganza. We talked to him.
Well, hang on. So why don't we talk to Adam Douglas? He's just down the corridor.
Well, and that's a reason to talk to him.
Well, if Amy's in love with Ganza, as the video suggests, then Adam has no chance. She rejected him that night, then what better motive than to bash her head in?
Oh, I think the one with the motive is Ganza. This comes out an affair with his patient. It'd ruin him.
If he was having an affair. We've only got her side of the story.
Sounds pretty convincing to me.
Yeah, but you don't like Ganza.
Well, neither do you.
True. Well, why don't I speak to Adam Douglas and you speak to Ganza and we'll see who's right.
No. I'll talk to Ganza's boss. See what this trial was actually about. You go on through the footage, see if you can find any more confessions. All right, you can thank me later.
I'm not going back. I won't live down there anymore. In the dull, in the grey. It's this or nothing. This or nothing.
Well, that's the point of the trial, any trial, to check for side effects of the drug, both individual and interactive.
So who initiated it? The Plowden Company or Dr. Ganza?
Well, Dr. Ganza, but with Plowden's full support.
And what's in it for Ganza?
Oh, he gets to spend a week closeted with some nubile females. Joke, sorry, bad taste.
Is there a non-joke answer?
Well, Dr. Ganza's written papers on the potential uses of ketamine as an antidepressant, and the trial was a chance for him to put his theory into practice.
But you didn't like it. Was that because of the potential side effect?
Well, all psychotropic medications carry risk. How much depends on the patient. And that, I fear, is where Dr. Ganza was sailing a little too close to the wind, and not for the first time.
What does that mean?
He selected highly susceptible participants for the trial.
Like Amy Katz, Adam Douglas. Why do that?
Because he's a risk taker. The more labile the patient, the more impressive the end result.
And it's worth it, that sort of risk?
Well, for him, certainly. He's got a share in the drug patent. If Keterex ever gets a commercial release, he stands to make a fortune, an absolute fortune. Unless it blows up in his face.
So what was the other time Ganza sailed too close to the wind?
Oh, just a figure of speech. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Slept well, got up, had a bowel movement, hot shower. Then I went outside and Like I saw stuff for the first time in months. Trees, sky, vapor trails. Beautiful.
Good morning, Dr. Ganza. It's me, Shauna. You probably realised that already. Anyway, I had the strangest dream last night. Right, I was in...
Excuse me, Sarge. I was running a diagnostic on the hard drive and I found data fragments.
From deleted files?
Yeah. They got a pretty high-end software scrubber, but
you can reconstitute it.
Might be too corrupted. But if you can authorize overtime, I can...
Whatever you need, got it. Hello?
What are you doing?
What you told me to do, listening to people describe their bowel movements.
You lucky man. Listen, if you can drag yourself away, do some background on Ganser, where he was before Oxford and so on.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
Yeah, sailing close to the wind. You wanted to see me, Mum?
Yes, Lewis, you've met Mr. Katz.
I have. Hello, sir.
Mr. Katz would like to know what progress we're making.
We're working on a number of leads.
What's there to work on? Why don't you just arrest him?
Who?
Dr. Ganza.
We don't have any evidence against him.
He was in charge of the trial, and my daughter ended up dead. At the very least, that's criminal negligence.
Maybe so, but we don't have any proof of misconduct. Not yet.
How much longer do you need? Oh, don't tell me it's the old boys' network again, Oxford protecting its
I
own.
can assure you, Mr. Katz, I don't belong to any old boys network. When we have evidence, we will act. Now, please, let us get on with our jobs.
Goodbye, sir.
He's not the only one complaining. Adam Douglas's college have been bending my ear, threatening lawyers and lawsuits. Have you got anything to charge him with?
I don't know.
Don't know doesn't quite cut it, Lewis. If you can't charge him, let him go.
Mom.
Ganser did sail close to the wind.
One day you'll have to tell me what that means.
It's initially a nautical term used to describe the seaworthiness of a ship.
I said one day, clever clogs. What you got?
6 years ago, Ganser had a clinical practice in Edinburgh. He was investigated by the British Psychiatric Association following complaints from a young female patient's father.
Complaints about what?
Inappropriate therapeutic relationship. The woman refused to cooperate with the investigation. The case was dropped.
Was Ganser married at the time?
Yep.
Did you get the name of the woman?
No, withheld.
Let's go and ask him.
You looking bright?
What you doing, love?
I was just looking at your videotapes.
Well, there was of them. PC Plod confiscated the rest. Speak of the devil. Well, then.
2 nights before she died, Amy went into the video room and declared her love for somebody.
I know. I saw it when I checked the video booth in the morning.
Do you know who she was in love with?
Me?
You were having an affair with her. Well, you think this is funny?
No, it's more the leaden predictability of your mind. I'm a happily married man.
Then why was Amy in love with you?
It's called transference, Inspector, where the analysand, Amy, transfers their feelings onto the analyst, me.
You encouraged this?
Encouraged is a bit strong, but Amy was in a dark place. I wanted her to realize there could still be love and joy in her life. She would have got over it. It's a process.
So is countertransference, where the analyst falls in love with the patient.
You're a clever policeman.
Yes, I am. It's not the first time you've done it. You've lied and cheated before on another wife with another patient. Edinburgh 6 years ago.
You've been doing your homework.
Were you trying to put some love and joy into that young woman's life, too?
Yes, I was, actually, but it's more that she was putting it in mine.
Is that how she would see it?
I don't know. Let's ask her. Claire, can you come here a minute?
You were his patient?
Yes?
I fell in love. Clear a case of countertransference as you could wish. Luckily for me, she reciprocated. I divorced my wife and I married Claire.
No. Leave us alone.
What a mess. And it's all Ganser's fault. That girl died because of his pills.
Strictly speaking, she died because someone killed her.
Yeah, after Ganser had shut a whole bunch of disturbed strangers together for a week, fed them on pills based on a drug from raves, and what else did you say?
Horse anaesthetic.
Horse anaesthetic, unbelievable.
They did volunteer for the trial. They knew what they were doing.
Did they know what the drug was doing? Amy out of her mind. Adam so wound up he nearly knocked Jack's head off. Dane lurking around behind doors like a
Yeti?
No, not like a Yeti. More like that Russian priest, you know? The one they couldn't kill.
Rasputin.
Rasputin. Scary bloke. Oh, hang on. Dane was in the army, wasn't he? What are the chances he knew Amy's brother?
Approaching Neil, it's a big army.
Let's find out. I mean, how did all these people come together? Karen and Jack, for example. How did they even know about the trial? Yeah, we talked to them again. Now they're off the drug, maybe they'll remember something useful. I'll do Jack and Karen. You do the dog walker and Rasputin.
Looking for me, Sergeant Hathaway, because I was going to come looking for you.
Good.
I've been thinking. Do you want to know what I've been thinking?
I'm all ears.
You have 3 plausible suspects. Adam Douglas, Jack Collins and Dane the weirdo. All 3 of them were like dogs on heat round Amy. No offence, my darlings.
Did she mind?
Dane creeped her out, creeped me out. But the other 2, she didn't care. She only had eyes for Dr. Ganser, poor lamb.
You noticed that?
I'm very sensitive to people. And you, my darlings. Come on, Chase. Come on, come.
Why are you so sure it's one of the men?
Statistics. Over 90% of homicides are committed by men, which means there's only a 10% chance Bethan did it, or Karen, or even little old me. Besides, we liked her. No, wrong. One of us didn't. Karen. Didn't like the way Jack looked at Amy, not at all. That's the one thing that would drive us to violence, jealousy. That's in the statistics too.
Well, that's what I don't understand. If you got on so well with everyone in the house, why did Adam attack you?
I told you, he was out of control.
What does that mean? Was he high?
No. I don't know, maybe he was just upset, okay?
About Amy? You and Amy?
There was no me and Amy.
Oh, come on, I've seen the films. You're watching her all the time.
She was gorgeous. Who wouldn't watch her?
What's going on?
Just asking Jack a few questions.
I've already told you everything we know.
All right, just tell me this. Why did the 2 of you do the trial?
Money? Nearly 200 quid a day, each. Take a month to earn that in this place.
For money?
We're saving for a deposit on a flat. 2.5 grand for popping a few pills. Why not?
You remembered anything else? Was Amy close to anyone, for example?
The only people that I saw her with was Adam and the soldier.
Dane?
I mean, talk about a natural-born psycho. Wouldn't talk to anyone except Amy. Bored to death with his war stories.
But that's all. Just talking.
Why don't you go and bother Dane? I mean, he's the one that had the hard-on for poor little Amy.
Thanks for your help.
Please, move and I break your arm.
Sorry, I thought you were breaking in.
No, just a social call. Where'd you get this, Dave?
She gave it to me. Amy did.
Really? Picture of her with her brother? Why would she do that?
That's between me and her.
It's between you and the police now. She's dead. Tell me.
Because she said I'd given him back to her.
How did you do that?
I told her what it was like. For him. Matthew.
You knew him from the army?
No.
And how did you know?
Because I'd been there. All right, so I knew. I didn't pretend to know him. I just told her what it was like, and she said it helped. She said it made him come alive. No, I didn't kill her. I'd die sooner than hurt that girl.
Hathaway.
Do you know how he did it yet?
Oh, that was the easy bit. These were in his pocket. It's the trial drug Keterex. Blood tox shows he's taken enough to knock out an elephant.
Where's he getting the pills from? Ganser was hardly chucking them around.
Wasn't he?
Must have been saving them up.
Or he got extra. Search his college rooms. Search the video archive. I want to talk to Ganser, see what his defense is this time.
Robbie, can I have a minute? I don't want there to be any misunderstanding between us.
Me neither. Is there one?
Don't make this any more difficult than it already is. I know Hathaway has said something.
Well, he hasn't actually. But he has been.
He's an
really...
old boyfriend.
Hathaway?
No. Franco. He lives abroad, and he was in Oxford because there's a chance his firm might send him back here. And we had dinner together, and it was, well, we were...
Franco? Like the dictator?
Yes. Only this Franco is German. Don't ask.
I won't. Thanks for telling me.
At least you do. You've been the same ever since we got so bad. I don't know. Alex
So, can everybody make sure that they take their pills before they eat? What do you like, Em?
Pizza?
Oh. Such a romantic, that one.
Don't know what you're talking about.
You're both on film. You don't swallow the pills, you pocket them.
So we didn't take the bloody things. It's not a crime.
You have a contract with Plowden. They paid you good money. You sabotaged their test. They've every right to sue you for breach of that contract. You could go to prison.
He's bluffing. Plowden wouldn't waste the time.
They will, when I tell them.
No, you can't.
But I will, unless you tell me what you did with the pills.
Look, all we were doing
Just shut up,
You
Jack.
shut up. It's your stupid idea. We sold them.
Who to?
To Adam.
Is this what you two are fighting about?
He wanted more, said he'd pay for more. He was cracked.
Listen, don't look down your nose at us. He was loaded and we didn't do any harm.
You did. You killed him. Jack's giving his statement, but other than dealing in prescription drugs, I don't know what we're going to charge them with.
On another matter, is there something you should have, or could have, told me involving Laura Hobson? Just to make it easier, she already thinks you have told me, so spill.
I saw her having dinner with someone. A man. Bit older than her, but not much. Good looking. Maybe foreign. They were friendly.
And you decided not to tell me?
I didn't know how to tell you. Didn't even know it was my business.
Right.
Which it isn't, actually.
Right.
Look, I hope that you and Dr. Hobson work it out, whatever it is, which you've got to admit is a bit of a mystery.
And none of your business. The whole thing's ridiculous. Got me acting like some silly, jealous... You hated her, didn't you? Amy, you couldn't stand her.
Couldn't care less about her.
She just had to crook her finger and your boyfriend would have come running.
Rubbish. Jack was happy with me.
It's all on film, Karen. Hours of it. Jack watching Amy, and there's you saving every penny towards your first home together, and suddenly realise you could lose him in a second.
Shut your mouth.
Amy's cleverer than you. She's kinder, she's prettier, gorgeous. That's what Jack called her. Gorgeous. And she's not in some warehouse, she's going places.
Going places. Right. Into a bloody grave.
Yeah, and aren't you glad about that? Because you hated her. You hated her, Karen. Admit it. Admit you hated her.
Yes, I hated her. And I'm glad she's dead. But who's the pretty one now, eh? Me or her?
Did you kill her, Karen?
No. But I wanted to. I wanted to cut her face off. Sorry.
I've got it.
Got what?
The file. I've reconstituted it. It's from the video booth. Very rough. It's Amy Katz.
I see clearly now. Maybe it's the stuff working, I don't know. But I see you and you're just words. You don't care about me or anyone. Adam's going crazy, getting extra drugs off Jack. But I'm speaking out.
When was this?
The night she died, about 1 o'clock.
I don't care if it damages you because you don't care. You've hurt me too much. Words don't work anymore.
She was going to destroy Ganz's reputation, marriage.
And his fortune. Dr. Fisher said Ganser stood to make a mint if his drug hit the market.
He asked Amy to back off. She refuses. He kills her.
I'll see you at the station.
Sir.
Why are you here?
You got him at last.
You're not helping yourself, Mr. Katz. Or Amy. Go home now. Statement by Jack Collins. Statement by Karen Wilde. They both sold their drug doses to Adam Douglas. Adam Douglas stored it all up and used it to kill himself.
Do you know who killed Amy yet?
We're talking about who killed Adam.
Adam killed Adam.
With your help.
Suicides don't need help.
Well, Amy disagreed. Amy tried to help him. She tried to warn you.
I see clearly now. Maybe it's the stuff working, I don't know. But I see you and you're just words. You don't care about me or anyone. Adam's going crazy, getting extra drugs off Jack. I don't care if it damages you because you don't care. You've hurt me too much. Words don't work anymore.
You heard that before?
No.
I thought all the files were copied to your home.
I haven't heard it before. Where did it come from?
Video booth 115 the night Amy died. It was erased. Who erased it? Who could have erased it?
Well, me or Amy.
Did you?
No.
Did you ask Amy to erase it?
Why would I?
Because she was threatening to expose you.
So I erased the message, or I asked Amy to erase it, and then what? I killed her.
Did you?
Well, I only lived 10 minutes away. I suppose I could have come around, asked Amy to step outside, but I didn't. I was in bed with my wife. Ask her.
Yes. He was with me all night. At least until that girl's body was found.
Amy's body. Mrs. Ganser, it's clear from the tapes that Amy was in love with your husband. Do you know if he reciprocated?
She was his patient, for Christ's sake. He's more than 20 years older.
Well, he'd fallen for a younger woman before, a patient. You.
Do you enjoy doing this, Inspector? Sergeant, whatever you are, picking at people's miseries?
I don't enjoy it, no.
Then why can't you leave us alone?
Because crimes have been committed and people have died.
My husband hasn't killed anyone. He was with me all that night.
And that's the truth.
Why would I lie? If you want to start harassing us, you're going to have to join the queue.
What do you mean?
Phone calls, obscene notes, car scratched, bins overturned.
What sort of notes?
Husband is a lying cheat sort of notes. Phone calls ditto.
Did you report this to the police? We could have traced those calls.
No, we didn't want to cause a fuss. Alex hired a private investigator.
What did he find?
The phone calls were from phone boxes. Most from the junior common room at Wolsey.
Amy Katz's college. Did either of you talk to her?
Hard to talk to someone who just says, I screwed your husband last night, then hangs up.
But the calls have stopped now,
Yes?
now that she's dead.
And yet more fallout from the Cloudwood Pharmaceuticals drug trial. Julius Fisher, head of the University Psychiatry Department, announced this morning that Dr. Alex Ganser had been suspended from all teaching duties pending an inquiry by the British Psychiatric Association.
Dr. Ganser, do you have any comment on your suspension?
Tell us why the university fired you.
Mrs. Ganser, do you have any comment on the rumours about your husband? Was your husband having an affair?
He's done nothing wrong. Nothing.
Dr. Ganser, do you have any comment on your suspension? Will you fight it?
Tell us why the university fired you.
Mrs. Ganser, do you have any comment on the rumours about your husband? Was your husband having an affair?
He's done nothing wrong. Got an open murder, a suspicious suicide, and Gander getting more grief from the press than from us.
We're stuck. No witnesses, no forensics, and a married couple giving each other alibis. But whoever did it, he's the one responsible.
Because he's a psychologist. You know my son, Chris?
A copper? Yeah.
Hard enough when you're a kid if your dad's a cop. Imagine what it's like if your mum's a cop. When he was 15, 16, Chris was heading for trouble, real trouble. I had no control. In the end, I tried a shrink, a therapist.
Did it work?
Obviously not. He became a policeman. No, it worked. I got my son back. I asked him a long time afterwards what made the difference. He said it was the fact that he could talk to someone who was interested in him, who found him interesting. So, what's your next move?
Hathaway's following up a lead.
I hope it's a good lead.
I know what bugs me about Ganser. He had a house full of troubled kids, and he didn't find any of them interesting. They were just guinea pigs for his drugs trial. 2 of them are dead.
Then get him, Lewis.
Just been talking to that private investigator who's an ex-copper, actually. DS, like me.
Good for him.
The stalker story was real enough. 10 obscene phone calls, 6 from Wolsey College, the other 4 from phone boxes near Ganser's house. So the phone records confirm Ganser's version of the story.
Did he record these calls?
No, he didn't want to. Doctor-patient confidentiality, you know?
Yeah, I know. What about the notes?
3, apparently.
Alex is cheating on you. Your husband is screwing another woman. Anything else?
Well, he confirmed that the Ganser car was vandalised and there was some weirdness with the bins. Emptied out on the front drive every night, 3 nights in a row.
Did Amy's name ever come up?
No, but he got the feeling that Ganser knew very well who was doing it, but didn't want Claire to know.
Yeah, he just wanted it all to disappear. And it did. I'm going to talk to him.
What about the note?
No, about computers.
He's not here. Disciplinary hearing.
You okay?
Oh, I'm dandy. Yeah. Boss has been fired and disgraced. I've lost my job.
You'll get another one. You're young, bright.
Not so young, but thanks anyway.
Actually, it was you I wanted to see.
Oh, if I'd known, I'd have worn my party dress. Okay, not a social call.
No, sorry. It's about the computer system. Who had access to video booth files? I mean, who could open them?
I told you before, Dr. Ganser.
Could you access them?
I don't have the password.
What about deleting files?
Ah, is that what's happened? Stuff's been deleted. He really is finished.
No. Amy and Adam are finished, Bethan. Ganser's alive, married, in good health. You should count his blessings.
Don't include his marriage among them. Toxic isn't the word for it.
What, you don't like Claire?
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said anything. I'm overwrought.
No, you're okay. If you think of anything else you shouldn't say, I hope you'll say it to me. That's my number.
All right. It's all right. All right, I'll come. I'm going out. I'm taking the car.
Oh, who's that on the phone?
Fisher wants to see me about something.
Hello? Hello? Who is this?
It's Claire Ganser.
Mrs. Ganser. I can help you.
I need to talk to you. I need to see you, in person.
Okay, I'll come over.
No, I'll come to you. He might come back.
Your husband doesn't know about this.
No. He's gone out.
Okay, why don't you come down to the police station? That's quite near you.
I'll be there. 15 minutes?
Fine. Oh, what's up?
Accident on the Woodstock Road, hit and run. A cyclist.
Oh, no. Who is it?
Just went straight into her. They're pulling the CCTV now. She was unconscious when they got here. They think her back's broken.
She was coming to see me. Said she had something to tell me. She sounded scared. Where's Ganser?
Not here, not answering his mobile.
Let's get him found.
Sir?
All right. All right.
Where's my wife? They won't tell me.
She's at the hospital. She's been in an accident.
I'm going to see her.
Not yet. You want to calm down?
You let me see my wife.
Tell me where you were last night.
I was at Bethan Vicaries.
What, all night?
I was exhausted. I must have fallen asleep.
Why were you there?
Because she called me.
Why?
None of your business.
And she'll back you up on that?
Yes. Please, let me see my wife.
I heard about Claire. He was on the radio. How's Alex?
Better than Claire. Dr. Ganser says he was with you all last night. Here. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah, he came round about 10 o'clock. Left early, I'm not sure when. I was still half asleep. It was getting light. No, he slept there. We're not having an affair, Inspector. I'm not his type, nor he mine.
Then why did he come round last night?
Because I called him.
Why? Why, Bethan?
Because I was hysterical. I blamed him for losing me my job, probably my degree. I demanded to know how he'd repair the damage. And, well, I was hysterical, I'm ashamed to say.
So he came round.
He calmed me down. We had a drink. He said he'd help any way he could. I apologised, said he should get back to Claire, but he was clearly exhausted. Said he'd lie down for a couple of minutes. He went out like a light.
Can I see your bedroom?
Sorry, haven't tied it up yet.
Okay, thanks. Do you mind if we take a look at your phone records? Just to dot the I.
Of course. Got to dot those I's.
She's in an induced coma, severe spinal damage, unlikely to walk again.
Brain damage?
Too early to tell with the initial.
I'm staying, so if you have any questions.
Do you know why your wife called me?
No, I didn't know she did.
That's why she was out so late. She was coming down to the police station and said she had something to tell me.
No, I didn't know. Who did this?
That's what we're trying to find out.
Who would want to hurt her? Hurt you?
I have no idea.
We've pulled all the CCTV from the local area, and this is the only clear footage we've found.
Okay, that's Claire. But we're looking for a car, an accident.
Hang on. We know it's Claire, but it could be anyone, including Ganser.
What am I looking at now?
The news footage from Ganser's place yesterday morning. That car, recognize it?
David Katz.
He's been stalking Ganser. He thinks he sees the doctor leaving his house late at night. He follows him and bang. This is the bit where you say, "Well done, Hathaway," and I shrug modestly.
Bring him in.
Mr. Katz, DS Hathaway, Oxford Police. Would you come with us, please? Find his car, bring it in, get forensics working on it.
What? What's going on? Where were you last night, Mr. Katz?
In my hotel.
Can anyone back you up on that? Room service? Phone calls you made? Internet access? Pay-per-view movie?
No.
Did you go for a drive?
I didn't go out. I sat and remembered my daughter. What she was like, the things she used to say. Her face.
Then why were you hanging around outside Dr. Ganser's office? Outside his house?
I was watching you not doing your job. I saw you let him go.
We had no evidence. It's the law. It may be a pain, but without it, people just go around maiming and killing each other. Which is what happened to Dr. Ganser's wife. Run over last night. Will never walk, maybe never talk again.
And you think I did that?
Did you?
No. No, I wouldn't.
You seem pretty certain he was guilty.
I am certain.
When did you get this?
About a month after she started therapy. I spoke to Amy. She denied it, insisted that Ganser was good for her, that she wasn't leaving him.
Well, why didn't you tell us?
Because I was embarrassed. Ashamed. Because I was an idiot. If I made it public months ago, then Amy would have had to stop seeing him and she'd still be alive.
Bloody hell. Who sent it? Amy wouldn't write to her own father.
It has to be Claire. She obviously expected Katz to do something. I would have stopped Ganser giving his therapy to Amy and removed a rival. Gives Katz a motive.
Forensics disagree. Katz's car did not hit Claire Ganser. Not him, sir.
Mr. Katz, I'm keeping this letter but letting you go. But for the last time, sir, go home, please.
Someone really doesn't like Ganser.
Or really does like Ganser. But we're running out of suspects.
Not necessarily. I pulled her phone records. As Ganser said, Bethan called him last night at about 10. She then calls his home again at 11:15, by which time, presumably, he wasn't there. Did she tell you that?
No. And 30 minutes later, Claire calls me to say she's got something to tell me. And she doesn't make it. Did you make a second call to the Ganser home last night?
Yes. I called Claire to say Alex collapsed on the sofa. I didn't want her to worry. Is there a problem?
Did you write these?
No, I didn't write them. How could you think I... well, they're disgusting. Horrid. Why would anyone?
Someone close to Ganser wrote them to his home, to Amy. Someone also called his home, making the same accusations.
But why?
Because she's jealous. She wants to keep Ganser to herself. That's why she killed Amy and she tried to kill his wife.
She? So you think it's me?
Is it?
No. You have to believe me. I'm not jealous of Alex. I'm just not.
Oh, come on. You worship him. Of course you're jealous of him and of the women who had him.
Just tell us the truth, please.
I am telling the truth. I didn't have to be jealous because I already had him. I'm in love with him and he is with me. Has been for years.
So you are having an affair?
No. We both wanted to, but we also wanted it to be open and honourable. He's been trying to extricate himself from the marriage. But Claire'd rather see him destroyed than with anyone else, and she'd crush anyone she saw as a threat.
So how come she's the one in the coma?
I don't know. All I can say is it can't have been Alex, because he was here with me.
Bethan is in love with me.
And you with her. Is it true?
No, I'm not in love with her. I've never been. I've never ever given any evidence of being.
Did you have any idea that she had these feelings towards you?
Yeah, I knew she liked me, was loyal, like a kind of annoying dog.
Well, I have to say, you must be a pretty crap shrink to work so closely with a woman for so long and have no idea.
But she's still delusional.
Is she delusional about you being at her flat last night?
No, I was there for the reason I told you. She asked me to come round.
Well, if there's so little between you, why stay over? Why not go home?
Well, I wish I had, but I'd had a few drinks. I was exhausted. The next thing I know, I wake up on the sofa. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, I suppose she says we made passionate love all night.
She says you fell asleep on her sofa. How can he be trained to read people and yet miss by so much?
If he's telling the truth, either he's a brilliant liar or he didn't see her, he was looking elsewhere.
Well, in my limited experience as shrinks, that's par for the course. When my wife died, I was encouraged to go for counselling. Well, encouraged. Browbeaten, more like. Anyway, in the end, to keep them quiet, I went.
What happened?
He didn't want to talk about Valerie, did he? He wanted to talk about me. How guilty I must feel, how angry. So, here's me wanting to tell him how bloody marvellous she was, how much I miss her. And he... Oh, lasted one session. Less than. Which explains my bias. Maybe I should remove myself from the investigation.
Don't do that, sir. We're nearly there.
You think?
Second time Gans has used a woman as an alibi. We can't talk to Claire, but we can talk to Bethan.
Especially when she hears how lovingly Ganser talks about her. Yeah, bring her in first thing. Let's see how long that alibi holds. Julie, what you got?
Bethan Vickery. She was found about half a mile from the hospital at 3:30 this morning. She'd been beaten up, maybe assaulted.
She say who did it?
She won't. She said she tripped, fell.
Oh, please go away.
3:04 last night, Bethan Vickery comes to the ICU ward, finds Alex Ganser. They talk, they argue, Bethan leaves. Ganser goes back to the ICU ward, 3:10, the front of the hospital.
Bethan leaves unharmed. Is that it?
3 minutes later...
He follows her.
When did he come back?
Well, not for 3 hours.
Good work, Julie. You and Ganser argued. You were on the CCTV.
He was angry. He told me to stay away, he said I'd ruin everything. I told him all I wanted was for him to be happy. I left. Sorry, Adam.
Oh, it's okay. I can come back.
No, I want to get this over with. I was walking home. I heard footsteps. It was him. He slammed me against the wall and I fell. He started kicking me, stamping. He said if I didn't keep my mouth shut, he'd destroy me. He said, who would people believe? A delusional spinster, a crazy woman, or him? He could pin whatever disorder he likes on me and make it stick. I've been in therapy with him for years. God knows what he could spin from that wealth of material.
Okay, let's just concentrate on what actually happened. Did he stay the night?
Yes.
All night? On your sofa? Tell me, Bethan.
I got up in the night. I went through to him. I wanted him to hold me, but he wasn't there.
What time was this?
About 12:30. I'm sorry I lied.
Bethan Vickery was brutally attacked last night. Bruises to the chest, the back, the stomach. We also have CCTV of you arguing with Miss Vickery in the hospital last night. You followed her when she left.
I went home to have a shower and a couple of hours sleep. I didn't follow her. I didn't lay a finger on her or foot.
We have Miss Vickery's statement withdrawing her previous statement that you were in her flat until 5 a.m. the night your wife was run down.
What does the new statement say?
That you left sometime between 12 and 1. Forensics report confirming a match between paint fragments on the bumper of your car and your wife's bicycle.
I bet they found paint fragments from the bike all over the car, not just on the bumper. Car and the bike shared a driveway for years.
We will be charging you with the assault on Bethan Vickery and the attempted murder of your wife, Claire. We will continue to investigate you for the murder of Amy Katz. We suggest you speak to a lawyer.
You know, Bethan is stark, raving mad.
Is that your professional diagnosis as her therapist?
No, I was never her therapist, but if you want a diagnosis, fine. She has de Clerambault's syndrome, a delusional sexual obsession in which the sufferer believes they are in love with someone and that their love is returned.
And that's what Bethan has.
De Clerambault's syndrome, named after an eminent French psychologist.
So how does this syndrome work?
The sufferer believes that their loved one is communicating with them in a unique and secret way.
Are you making this up?
The obsession can get violent. Often the initial target is the person perceived to be standing in the way of the desired object.
In this case, your wife?
No, first Amy Katz, then my wife.
All right, so Bethan killed Amy Katz.
Well, what other explanation makes sense? I refused to reciprocate her love. She turned her violence on me.
Except that she was the one that got beaten up, so that doesn't quite fit, does it?
Well, the case histories show that the de Clerambault sufferer turns their rage on the person they once idealized.
Is that it?
Isn't that enough? She's seriously ill. She's pathological.
Funny, that's exactly what she said you'd do. Find a psychological disorder and slap it on her. Why don't you have a think about it overnight? See if you can come up with something better.
He's not going to confess, is he?
Nope. He'll do what he can to discredit Bethan. And he can do a lot.
So what are we going to do about it?
Well, we've got reasons, explanations for most things, except Adam Douglas. Can we connect him to Ganser?
Amy warned Ganser that Adam was getting extra doses of the drug, but other than that...
Did you check Adam's phone records when he was released?
No, I'll do it in the morning.
Right. I'll talk to Bethan.
About what?
Well, Claire Ganser was going to tell me something that night. I want to see if Bethan has any idea what it was.
Here's a thought. Why don't I talk to Bethan and you check the phone records?
Nah, that technical stuff goes way over my head. And anyway, you're so good at it.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Anytime. See you in the morning.
Miss Vickery was moved towards 17. I'll just put a call through.
Bethan? Where on earth are you going?
Home. Doctor's not too pleased about it, but I really want to.
Give you a lift? I have an ulterior motive. More questions.
Is Alex...
He's locked up.
Adam Douglas's phone records. 2 calls. First, the Ganser's mobile. 2 seconds. Probably just got voicemail and hung up. And next, Ganser's office. A 10-minute conversation. You wanted to know if he spoke to him, and yes, he did.
No, he didn't. Second call's 4:25, right? 4:25, Ganser was in his house being interviewed by us.
Then who else works in the office?
That's the only thing I can think of. That she wanted to tell you about me. Me and Alex, our passionate affair. Ow. Thank you. Sorry, I'm so feeble.
When you called Claire to tell her husband was staying, what did she say?
Nothing. She just hung up. She was uniformly hostile to any woman Alex worked with. At least with me, I suppose there was reason. okay?
It's coming. Not great with hangers.
You've got time for a cuppa, though, don't you?
How many tablets of Kettrex did it take to kill Adam Douglas?
Morning. Pills were only 100 mg. Adam's blood work was off the chart.
So, a lot, at least 20, and that doesn't include the 4 that were left over.
It doesn't add up. The trial ends on day 5. Maximum number that Jack and Karen could have sold him is 8, plus his own 4 is 12. Where do you get the rest from? Just so you know, I didn't tell Lewis about your date. Thought it was something for the two of you to work out, which is what I still think. Why don't you? Sir, are you with Bethan?
I am, yes.
I'm pretty sure she was the last person to talk to Adam before he killed himself. I'm also pretty sure that she helped him get the drugs to do it.
But how?
I'm waiting for a call back from Plowden now. They control the supply.
Okay, let me know if you get it.
Well, Sergeant, you've got to go.
I'll have my tea first.
He's lucky to have someone like you to learn from.
Quite often, I learn from him.
You're sweet. But I've been watching him. He seems a little out of his depth, especially when it comes to dealing with people. It's a gift, I suppose.
I'm sure he'll learn. You said you were in therapy with Ganza.
I was, God help me. Why?
He said you weren't.
I'm sure he said a lot of things. Our therapy sessions, 4 years of them.
Oh, you took notes.
Well, I am supposed to be doing a postgrad in psychology. Look, I'm going to change. I've been in these clothes long enough. There's more tea in the pot and cake. Have some cake. My notes. They're private, you know. It's all right, I trust you.
Bethan, these aren't notes. You weren't in therapy with Ganza.
Yes, I was. That's how I learned.
No, these are scraps. Rubbish. You stole them from Ganza's bins. Phone calls, obscene notes, that was all you.
Stop. Stop. You're making me sound like a mad person.
You've got some of his old clothes in your cupboard, his shoes. You probably used them to beat yourself up.
Please, please, don't talk like that.
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to come with me. Get your clothes. Enough!
Can you connect her to Adam Douglas's death, too?
Yeah. Plowden confirmed that an extra box of Kettrex was delivered to Ganza's office the afternoon Adam was released. It was signed for by Bethan.
So she gave the drugs to Adam. Why?
Because he was a threat to Ganza, therefore to her. That's why she killed Amy, tried to kill Claire. She took the keys out of his pocket when he was sleeping and tried to run her down.
Have we got any idea what Claire Ganza was coming to tell you that night?
Probably that something was going on between her husband and Bethan.
And she's confessed to it all?
Oh, no, she thinks she's doing what Ganza told her.
Yeah, she's got files full of notes giving her instructions. All nicked from Ganza's bins. All rubbish.
Did Ganza tell her to beat herself up?
Well, she only did that when she realised he wasn't going to join in her fantasy. And then she went after him.
Nearly got him, nearly got you, too.
I suppose I should be flattered.
They went to sea in a sieve, they did. In a sieve they went to sea. In spite of all their friends could say, on a winter's morn, on a stormy day, the Jumblies. She said she loved them as a child.
The Jumblies went to sea in a sieve.
That's them.
Did you here?
Or that my diagnosis of Bethan was correct. Small comfort. I was blind for so long. Getting my punishment now. There's a man in Belgium woke up last year after being in a coma for 23 years. He said he'd been conscious all the time, for 23 years. He'd been screaming and shouting at people, but nobody heard him. So, I'm going to be here for as long as it takes so that she doesn't have to scream. You ready? And when the sieve turned round and round and everyone cried, "We'll all be drowned," they called aloud, "Our sieve ain't big, but we don't care a button. We don't care a fig, in a sieve we'll go to sea. Far and few are the lands where the Jumblies live. Their heads are green, their hands are blue. They went to sea in a sieve."
Went to sea in a sieve.
What's that?
I went to visit Dr. Ganser. He was reading to his wife.
What's he going to do?
Go on reading. He's staying with her.
I spoke to her surgeon. There's no chance of recovery. Absolutely none.
I know. He knows. But he's staying.
Out of guilt?
Maybe. More out of love, I think.
Sorry, Robbie.
You don't have to be. It's not as if we... And Ganser really proves it, doesn't he?
Proves what?
You don't get many chances. Don't want to waste them. Can I buy you a coffee, Laura?
Coffee?
Maybe something stronger?
Sounds a bit more like it.